Hello students. So today's lesson is about the poem The Road Not Taken. So students, we have already studied the first and second stanza of The Road Not Taken in the previous video. So in this particular video, I will discuss about the third and fourth stanza. Okay. So those who have not watched the previous video may go and watch the previous video. It is available in YouTube. So let me quickly discuss about what I had taught you or what I had told you about the first and second stanza of the poem. Now see, the basic idea is that road not taken is based on the problem of choice. Now, what is the natural scene that has been described in the poem? The poet is walking through the woods, and do you know what type of woods was he walking through? He was walking through yellow woods because it was the time of autumn season and all the trees had yellow leaves, or the leaves from the trees were shedding. That means it was the woods of decomposing leaves. Okay, so during the time of autumn season, he was walking through the yellow woods. Okay, and what happened? While walking, suddenly he comes to a point where he notices the path on which he was walking is diverged in two different directions. Okay, so remains in a dilemma, means he is unable to decide which path to take. He tries to observe the ends of the two paths, but he cannot see them. He sees the first path and notices that one path is bent in the undergrowth. That means it is covered by leaves and shrubs and plants, etc. So he cannot possibly see the end of the first path. Okay, so he observes the next path and he sees that there are grasses on the second path, and he thinks that this path is less trodden. So he decides to take the second path instead of the first one. Let me tell you students, the first path is less trodden. He thinks that it is worn out. And the second path, he sees that it has grasses on it, means he thinks that the path is less trodden or less opted by people, and that is why there are grasses on the second path. Okay, so this is what we have read in the first and second stanza. So he thinks of choosing the second path, or he chooses the second path in order to go on. Okay, now what is the basic idea that the poet wanted to state through the first and second stanza? Now the basic idea is that we all experience the problem of choice in our life, and you know, life is a journey. It has various twists and turns. Okay, so we all often come to a point in our life where we have to make decisions, we have to make choices, we have to choose between alternatives. We cannot choose both of them. We do not know whether the alternatives are right for us or not. Okay, but we simply have to choose them. We have to make a choice in our life. Okay, so now let us see what the third stanza says. Okay, now one thing you remember, that the poet has already taken the second path because he thinks that it is less trodden. Why? Because he saw that in the beginning it had grasses, so he thinks that the path was less trodden. Okay, but as he continues in that path, he sees that it is also worn out. That means the second path is equal to the first one. That means both the paths were equally worn out. Now what is the basic idea of this particular thing? The idea is that the choices, or all the choices, are similar. For example, like the problem that we face in our life, the problem of choice that we face in our life is very common. It is common to everyone. Okay, so now let us come to the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves. Okay, so remember, he observes that both the paths were equally filled with leaves. Okay, why leaves? Remember that it was the time of autumn season and the trees were shedding their leaves. The leaves were yellow in color. So both the paths were filled with leaves. Okay, so he says that both refer to both the paths. Okay, fallen on on both the paths. Okay. So let us come to the next line. In leaves no step had trodden black, and he mentions, and he therefore mentions that this means that particular morning no one had come and walked on those two paths. Okay, so how do you know it? You know it because there are leaves on both the paths, and this shows that particular morning no one had come and walked on the paths. Okay, so that is why the paths were filled with leaves. Okay, so the word trodden means walked on. That means nobody had trodden or walked on those two paths that particular morning. Okay, so let us come to the third line. Oh, I kept the first for another day. So the poet decides to move on with the choice or with the option which he has already decided to take. He decides to take the second path instead of the first, and therefore he says, oh, I kept the first for another day. Okay, so he said that it was not possible for him to take both the paths. Okay, so he chooses the second path and keeps the first path for some other day. That means he will travel or he would walk on the second path sometime in the future. Okay, so he cannot choose both the first and the second path together in one instance. Okay, so today he is choosing the second path, but later on somewhere in the future he will choose the first one. Okay, so he says that, oh, I kept the first for another day. So maybe I will take the first path some other day. This is what the poet says. Okay, so next line reads, yet knowing how way leads on two ways. So he is very much aware that that one way leads on to another way. Okay, ways are connected. So one way leads on to another way. I doubted if I should ever come back. Okay, so he says that if my choice or if his choice proved to be a wrong one, he cannot simply come back to the starting position and take the other path. Okay, so this is what he means to say, I doubted if I should ever come back. Means he wants to say that if the choice that he has made today, the choice of the second path which he has made today, if it proved to be wrong, okay, he cannot simply come back to the starting position and start walking on the first path. Okay, it is impossible for him. Okay, so what is the basic idea of the third stanza? What did the poet try to say through the third stanza? He wanted to say that everyone or each one of us have to make a choice. Okay, and we simply have to walk on, or we simply have to go on with that choice. It is impossible for us to reverse or to undo what we have chosen. Okay, whether it is right or wrong, we simply have to move on in that direction. We cannot reverse or undo what we have chosen or what alternative we have opted for. Okay, just like the poet could not come back to the starting point, or the poet says that it was impossible for him to come back to the starting point, okay, and choose the first path. Similarly, we also cannot undo our choices after we have opted for one. Okay, so now let us consider the fourth stanza. Okay, students. So let us now consider the stanza 4. Okay. So the first line reads, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Okay. So the poet mentions that in future or in the distant future, he will be mentioning about this incident that happened to him, or the problem of choice that occurred to him while walking through the woods. Okay. And how will he say it? He will express it or say it with a sigh. And to whom will he say? He will say it to the people or to the future generation. Okay. So how do you know that he is talking about the future? That in future he will tell this to the people. This is mentioned in the next line. Somewhere ages and ages hence. Means somewhere in the distant future, he might get an opportunity or a chance to tell about this problem of choice, or the problem that he experienced today. He will be telling about this problem to the people in the remote future or in the distant future. Okay, and how will he express it? He will express about that situation with a sigh. Okay. Now what will he say? He says that two roads diverged in a wood. Okay. So the poet mentions what he will tell to the people in the distant future or in the remote future. What will he say? That he will say to the people that one day he was walking through the woods and he saw that the paths were diverged. It took a long time to choose which path will be correct for him. Okay, so he will tell about the choice that he made to the people. Okay, and when will he say? He will say this in the future. Okay. Next, I took the one less travelled by. So what else will the writer say? So the writer will say to the people that he took the one that was less opted by people or less chosen by people. Okay. So what will he say to the people in the future? He will say that one day he was walking through the woods when he saw two diverged paths. He had to choose one of them, okay, and he basically chose the path that was less walked on by people or less opted by people, okay. And the last line is very important, and that has made all the difference, okay. So wherever he stands in the future, it is because of the choice that he has made today, okay. So he says that that has made all the difference. That means the choice that he makes today will determine his future, okay, or whether the choice is wrong or right will determine his future, okay, and that has made all the difference. So whatever he stands in the future is because of the choice that he has made today. So that's all for today. Thank you.